60 hidden gems of PlayStation 2. There are so much good games on PlayStation 2 that a lot of these games are forgotten today, so I want to remind you that still play PlayStation 2 or just want to remember some of these games. Really good games that are forgotten in time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, click on the like, subscribe to the channel. I'm posting videos almost every day here. Also check the other videos in the channel. I've got videos of 100 best PlayStation 2 games, PlayStation 3 games, PlayStation 4 games, and much more. I would appreciate if you can watch the other videos and subscribe to the channel too, that I'm posting videos almost every day, as I said. Thank you so much, and let's go to the video. Draken: The Ancient Gates. A forgotten but very fun action-adventure game set in a fanciful world. You play in a third-person camera in an immersive and curious world. Kim Possible. What is the Switch? A fine platformer game set in the universe of Kim Possible, and was the first game of the series on a not portable console. Kenji: Dawn of the Samurai, a game that should be more famous, a absolutely insane third-person action adventure, with some hack-and-slash mechanics, with a great combat and multiple types of enemies. Psychonauts, a original and unique third-person platformer action-adventure game. The game follows the story of Rasputin, a young boy gifted with psychic abilities, in a fun adventure. Gregory Horror Show, a survival horror set in the universe of the anime with the same name. You pass through immersive and claustrophobic corners, escaping and fighting uncanny monsters. Raw Danger, a kinda strange but really fun survival game, with a fun gameplay and interesting characters. In the game, you must survive in a flooded city, doing all you can do. Disaster Report. This is the first game of the series, and here you must find the best ways to survive, with different characters in the middle of a collapse on an artificial island, and your choices will decide their fate. Second Sight. From the same developers of Time Splitters, that's incredible, we got Second Sight, a game that makes a psychological thriller narrative with a unique and fun gameplay, with powers and different weapons.
I gotta get this.
Shadow of Destiny, one of the first adventure games from PlayStation 2. The game is set in Germany, and you play as a young guy called Ike, who is killed in the start of the game, but resurrected by mysterious beings. Zone of the Enders, Second Runner, a classic fast-paced 3D robot action game, with an insane gameplay featuring a frenetic and insane combat. A great game for those who like this style. Sky Gunner, a very good combat flight simulator game, set in a third-person camera with a fun gameplay and a stylish graphics style, and unique planes, by the way. Dr. Muto, a charismatic 3D platformer game. You play as Dr. Muto, and the game will pass through different platform challenges, but also some simple but very fun puzzles. Crimson Sea 2, a fanciful and fun third-person shooter, and also a hack-and-slash game, with a good gameplay and set in a dangerous universe filled with deadly creatures. Siberia 2, a beautiful and enchanting graphic adventure, with unbelievable graphics for its time, and some immersive and lonesome environment, and is obviously the sequel of Siberia 1.
While his passion is strong, his wheelwork is...
Kia: Dark Lineage, a stylish 3D platformer action adventure. You play as Kia, and after discovering a mysterious place in your own house, you must go out on an insane adventure.
Kaya! Frank! What's going on?
The Punisher, a great third-person shooter with multiple levels, weapons, and best of all, is a very brutal game, as any game of the Punisher series should be. PsyOps: The Mindgate Conspiracy, an absolutely immersive third-person shooter, but the main difference here is your main weapon, that's your own mind, being able to move and throw things in the air.
We'll skip the spoon bending and start by controlling objects.
Ghost Hunter, a fun third-person shooter. There is also a first-person mode in the game, but the main one is the third-person mode. The game has a fun gameplay and you combat different types of enemies in the game, with multiple weapons. Killer 7, a unique first-person shooter with a cartoon graphic style. The game follows an elite group of assassins called Killer 7, and they must go out on insane missions completing the goals. Hunting Ground, the absolute hidden gem, a true survival horror with an impressive quality, but unfortunately kinda forgotten in time, but it deserves to be remembered. Metal Arms, Glitch in the System, a fun third-person shooter. You play as a robot called Glitch on the planet Iron Star, and you must fight groups of evil robots just trying to take over the planet. Time Splitters, one of the best first-person shooters from PlayStation 2. In the game you go through different times and places, finding different types of enemies, what makes it really fun. Alien Hominid, a extremely fun and original 2D side-scroller with a shooter combat like Metal Slug and an absolutely gorgeous graphic style. Nights into Dreams, a fun platformer game developed by Sonic Team Studio. What is interesting, the game is set in different levels, with a fun and fluid gameplay, merging 2D and 3D scenarios. Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, a extremely fun Mortal Kombat hack and slash game. You play as Liu Kang or Kung Lao, or later you can also choose Sub-Zero or Scorpion, for some classic stages of the series. Everblue 2, a unique game with a diving gameplay. You must explore the ocean searching for valuable things, and also seeing different types of fish and also other creatures. Ico, a beloved but not as famous as it should be, a unique and original action game, also known as the Shadow of the Colossus before of Shadow of the Colossus. Very good game. Deus Ex: The Conspiracy, a first-person shooter RPG game. The series got kinda famous along the years, but this version of the game is kinda forgotten, but it's very good. Stretch Panic, a unique platformer game. You play as a girl named Linda, who has powers to pinch, stretch, and bend objects and enemies with a magic scarf. Kill Switch, a third-person shooter game. You play as Nick Bishop and go out on frenetic action missions, which was designed to bring the North and the West to the war. UNKOWN, a unique survival horror game, developed by the famous From Software. A player must choose a level in the start, which one will change the character you play with. Urban Reign, a multiplayer 3D beat-em-up with a lot of different fighting style and a very fun gameplay. Dark Cloud, a very fun and unique RPG game with a good combat system and mechanics like strategy and action games. Berserk Millennium Empire Arc, Chapter of the Holy Demon War, a fun game set in a chapter of the original saga, very good for those who likes the anime. Batman Begins, the Batman game that was released one day before of the film, and here you follow the same story of the film itself, with a good gameplay.
What are you supposed to be?
Red Dead Revolver. Some people don't know, but Red Dead Redemption wasn't the first Red Dead game. Despite it's a different experience in a level-based game, it's very interesting to play today.
One day this fine weapon will be yours. But for now, why don't you take my old pistol? Go on down to the river and practice while I give your mom her gifts.
Clock Tower 3, one of the first series of survival horror created. In this game, you're just a young girl, so you won't be able to fight. Just hide, flee, and solve the mysteries of the area.
Yesterday morning.
Huh?
She mentioned that she would not be coming back for some time.
What?
She was wrong. She won't be coming back at all.
Shadow Heart's Covenant. This is a very interesting JRPG, with a turn-based combat system and a very interesting story and plenty characters. God Hand. Play this fun third-person beat-em-up game, facing multiple enemies and with a lot of personality and quality. Rigor the Legendary Adventure. This is a very fun action and adventure game with a hack and slash gameplay very similar to God of War, but it was released even before. Extermination, one of the first survival horror games of PlayStation 2. The game takes place in Antarctica, an American research facility, and after some problems, you must reunite with your mates. Then the game begins. Gungrave, a unique third-person shooter with a fast-paced gameplay and a stylish character, and also an interesting visual style. Project Snowblind, a very good FPS game, and the good thing about the game is the freedom to choose the way you want to approach your objectives and reach your goals. Seishu, Wrath of the Heaven, a stealth action game. You can choose the character you want to play with, and the game has a great gameplay and story. It even reminds a little bit of Sekiro. The Suffering, survival horror that you can play in third person and also first person camera. You're a prisoner charged with a crime that the character claims to be innocent, but now you must face evil forces.
Inmate, back in your cell. Everything's under control.
Primal, that tells the story of Jennifer Tate, an orphan teenager who searches for her boyfriend in a dimension controlled by demons.
Your Lewis may have been brought here.
Lewis? Lewis here? You've got to help me find him.
Dark Watch, a very immersive and unique FPS game. You play as a vampire and must fight other vampires. The game has some very interesting environments, by the way. You must play. Sly Cooper, a fun stealth platforming game with a nice gameplay and stylish graphic style. And there is even Sly 2 and Sly 3 if you enjoy this one. Shadow of Rome, a third-person action game with some hack-and-slash mechanics. The game is set in old Rome, and it's loosely based on the assassination of Julius Caesar.
Why would Agrippa's father slay Caesar?
Urban Chaos is a first-person shooter. You play as a cop, and you need to fight the chaos of the streets with different types of weapons.
Please hold positions until they arrive at your location.
Blood Will Tell, a faithful action game. And in Japan, you must face different types of enemies and insane boss fights.
Yakimaru, move with the left analog stick.
Red Faction, a very fun FPS game with a good story and gameplay, with multiple weapons and also vehicles.
To a room, time sharing your bunks. Conditions are barely livable, and the guards are everywhere.
Spartan Total Warrior, an insane game that takes place in the faithful Sparta, with amazing boss fights and hack-and-slash gameplay.
Catapult is ready. Look, there are siege engineers in their ranks. These engineers will try to smash the gate open.
The Thing, a forgotten but very interesting game, and yeah, it's inspired in the classic film, to explore and survive in the snow of this immersive horror game, with different characters and dangers. Gun. If you never played Red Dead Redemption and you want to play something the same style on PlayStation 2, that's the game. A great open world game set in the Old West.
Elk bed. I can smell them. Tracks are fresh. Come on.
Cold Fear. Interesting survival horror game that's set in a great part of the game in a ship where you face other humans and also other types of creatures. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. Baldur's Gate got really famous after the 3, but this one is absolutely amazing in its time. You must play if you like RPGs. UNKOWN 2, Unity's Veil, a charismatic and fun game, platforming features, and also action and adventure. Beyond Good and Evil, a very fun and original third-person action adventure game with fun gameplay and nice graphics. By the way, the second game is announced, but maybe it was cancelled. I don't know, there's a long time already. Forbidden Siren, a peculiar survival horror. The player will explore with different characters a remote island in Japan. After a specific ritual, this place becomes a true mess. Well guys, this was the video today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Click on the like, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments in the comment section, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Watch another video in the channel. There's a lot of videos in the channel. Just choose one and watch. There's the PlayStation 3 Hidden Gems 2, also the best games of PlayStation 2, the 100 best games of PlayStation 2. So just choose the video you want to watch. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So long.